So, hello everyone, and welcome back to Halcyon 6 in a little bit of a different sort of a situation. As you can notice that I have a little bit of a speed up here, and I will have in different points in this video speed up, just for the very reason that it would be normally otherwise, but there happened to be the case that, well, I sort of lost my commentary for this, so unfortunately we are going to be having to be without it, and I have to do the commentary afterwards, like reading all the text and such things, obviously enough, because there's a lot of fun stuff I read, of course. This is also, of course, quite a bit later than the previous time that I played. Like you can see in the right top corner the morale and the Halcyon 6 hit points that are a new thing completely. And here, of course, we go and just deal with another possessed fleet. But yes, morale is something that, well, basically your crew is happier and there's bonuses if they are happier and so on. So you prefer to keep them, of course, happy. On the other hand, you are not losing your units anymore, as in crew members, if you are being bombarded, but rather Halcyon 6 hit points, and if those go completely down, you are basically dead. So I'll also explain a little bit already about the few new things that you can build, which I didn't notice immediately coming here, but there's two new things that you can get in the technology tree, which is a counselor's office, and if that was exactly the correct name. And Halcyon 6 is of course also under attack here, which is easy enough to deal with. But yeah, just basically in the start here deal with a lot of minor problems, so to speak, like this. And then besides the counselor office anyways is about morale more, crew morale. So it's a boosting effect for that. And then on the other hand, the foundry, being the second new one, then is about you building. You can build a couple of upgrades that, for example, increase your hit points, as in Halcyon 6's hit points, which is a nice thing. But you do need drones for that, so not something we can have at this point, and of course for a while I cannot even know about that. But yeah, it would be nice to get those hit points, but I didn't concentrate that much into that. The other thing that you can do is build equipment that I also got from some of these battles from enemy ships. Some equipment that do different effects when you put them into your ships. So you can have up to 3, which I didn't notice immediately, but up to 3 different equipments on your ships now, which certainly you didn't have originally. But you will see more about it later on. But yeah, those kind of interesting little things. Easily enough can talk about those things while we're just doing battle against all sort of enemies and just clearing all the freaking cruel threats that happen to be around. But it does go pretty easily still. Most of the battles, in a couple of cases, a little bit closer situation, of course, like the very first against the Xlar Yantu crew. But otherwise it's pretty easy with the 3 very nice attack with our supercharged weapons with our tactical ship and everything, so pretty nicely helping Gorsan and helping these and helping everyone as we can. Then another one, and then there's another cruel ships coming too, which we are needing to go and take care of. But a lot of little battles that are speeded up through quite quickly here, but I think it's quite fine enough. There wouldn't be really that much to talk about these battles anyways, but hey, at least they're still here for you guys to see what all has been going around and about, so yeah. Here too, just concentrating, of course, taking care of the little one first and doing all sort of lovely damages to the other ones too, while now then with our supercharged weapon just damage all 3 of them and doing a little bit of spin maneuver and getting them vulnerable and just exploiting vulnerability then and everything. And so they are all gone. And it's some more days until we get the last ship arriving, and Collective were also asking for us to arrive into their place. So I missed a couple of things that that guy was anyways talking about, but we are going to be going and visiting the Collective and seeing what is going to be about in there. There's the foundry and the counselor rooms, which we both researched, but and then go ahead and start building them too. Replacing one of the dark matter places, for example, too. Because it's not like we need that many dark matter places. We have plenty of dark matter after all. But yes, then going into the collective and going to see and what they or have about, what are they thinking. Commander, always nice to see you. You're looking well considering the whole near extinction of the human race thing. Maybe it brings out the best in you. Maybe. Now on the topic about bringing out the best in humans, I have a nifty idea for a bioimplant cognition enchanter and I'd love to try it out on one of your officers. Well, so have you tried it on your own officers first? Your own officers? Mayhap? Have you? Ah, well, you see, I did try them on my husk, thinking any aid in cognition could help them with everyday tasks. However, what I didn't realize is that it would amplify several of their more base, selfish desires, which actually led to a riot in one of my colonies. But seeing as your officers are already somewhat independent thinking creatures, that threat would be 100% mitigated. So what do you say? Want to give it a shot? Don't worry about payment either, it's on me. Yes, I'm pretty sure you would like to experience on us, and yeah, I would like to do that offer, accept the enchantment offer, so accept. That will be great, just pick an officer who isn't too squeamish or jumpy, or too picky with things they aren't in semi-haphazardly around their heads. Exciting! Yes, extremely exciting. Then just spend a little bit of time to have a look about who exactly we would want to be using on that, because it was basically either Lucas Bowman or Steve Gandappa, but I do feel that it should indeed be the science officer. And anyways, Lucas Bowman is our main guy, so the collective are excited about the new augmentation they've developed for human chassis and would like to give you a try on one of your officers. So that is what we're gonna be going and doing. Maybe it should have been actually the tactical officer, considering the tactical officer is the out of 300 there, but oh well. We went with the science officer, and that was my choice, regardless. So, then just having a little bit of wait until our counselor office is going to be built very soon. So, counselor officers online. The crew are delighted to hear that the counselor's room is complete. Maybe now some of them will be able to sleep at night, plus 10% morale. So pretty nice. As said, you can see it on top right, the morale growing into green. And there's a lot of different sort of morale bonus things in here that you could be doing, which is kind of intriguing. Crew meetings, award banquets, and all sort of things like that. But I did want to be building it near the officer quarters or the general quarters areas rather than far away. So, yeah, there it is now. And then just a little bit of a wait around while everything is coming up. Commander, there's a sensitive situation at the starbase that I'm afraid you'll need to involve yourself in. A Halcyon 6 love triangle has been growing for the last few months on the station. Indeed, it has transformed into more of a love hexadracdiadron. However, the complexity of the situation has resulted in a noticeable downtick in productivity, as many of the crew are gripped with excitement over who will end up with who. So overall, pretty interesting stuff, like trap them in a room long enough to sort out the differences would be quite funny. But we have the counselor room, so conduct a large-scale relationship counseling is definitely the thing we want to do, even though other stuff would be quite interesting as well. All on-board romances to cease for the length of the mission. Wouldn't be a very big issue with 300 materials, but we got the counselor room for a reason. The counselor center, largely devoid of any feelings of the matter, are confident they can sort out the situation given the right resources. Yes. It just simply needs someone to come and deal with it, which is pretty much our Mr. Blimp from here, considering he hasn't. Well, that's something that you really don't need to worry about, that mission over there. Hasn't just recruiting crew. So yeah, he's gonna be going and doing this. Helping the love people in love, or the love triangle thing. Yes, very much indeed. Yes, all that sort of lovely stuff. Commander, the Gorsan Consensus Raid Fleet has entered Butterfly and are raiding the Xlar Yanti Union facility again. Why must they do such things? Well, who knows? Why do they have to be concentrating on each other's when there is the cruel to fight against? But no, for some reason they think that that's the better option to actually go and just fight amongst themselves. Commander, the collective have sent us an emergency message about the bioimplant surgery. Patching it through now. Wonder what is going on. Commander, I have got great news and not fantastic news. The great news is that the bioimplant went swimmingly, they're working great. And the scarring is going to heal very nicely. However, the not fantastic news is that when your officer woke up, the adrenaline coursing through their primitive body sent them into a period of intense physical anger. Which resulted in the plowing through half a dozen Halcyon, exactly one laboratory more. Which would be fine, but next door there are several Skrill waiting to be experimented on. Lovely. On the other hand, this is a good opportunity for you to test out your officers' enchant compatibilities. Acknowledge then. Doesn't that sound just lovely? But relatively easy enough of a battle, so I think I'll cut just a little bit here, cause it's not like this is that important a battle for anyone to see. And here we are with them almost being dead, and just a little bit more, and they will all be done for, just like that, nicely. And the battle is indeed won. Well, that was interesting, and don't worry about the wall. As you can probably tell, my labor costs aren't patrically pricey. As for the Skrill, I'm sure the Yaplings are going to have a sale on new specimens soon enough. Acknowledge that. Good luck with getting more specimens. But hey, we helped the collective, so I'm pretty satisfied enough with that. Pretty well. Didn't see anything that exactly was changed here. Maybe there was, but I just didn't manage to really find it. There's a lot of stuff after all in here, and it's not easy to find what is exactly something new that has changed, so... Unfortunately, not sure how the combat bonuses exactly then work, but... But I thought about then going and visiting the Corsans and the Yaplings and the like too, because of the very reason that... Well... but what is that pleasant sensation entering our midst? I don't know. What could it be? Not humans, I presume. Why, it's none other than a human fleet. It's simply wonderful that you took time out of your paltry life cycle to check in on your friends, the Corsan. We are both joyed by your arrival, though saddened by the lack of meaning inherent in your short lifespans. Though, conversely, we revel in the emotional dissonance it causes, and we thank you for the sensation. I sense you wish to do us a service. If that is the case, then seek out attackers on our facilities. Go, quick! I have no time to waste. We in the meantime will engage in joyful contemplation. Very joyful. But yes, because I didn't see if there happened to be any other missions, but that was an interesting little talk, but nothing interesting was in the Yaplings or the Xlar Yantu anyways. But yeah, I didn't notice that previously anyway, for sure. Well, large-scale relationship counseling is going on for 3 more days before the resolution, but I do send them out to the Yaplings and the Xlar Yantu next. But nothing that interesting, unfortunately, in those places. But that conversation was fun. The council's center staff reports full recovery of the Love Hexa Derachiderion, with the members no longer providing any kind of distractions for the station as a whole, plus trade the morale as well. So pretty nice. There's even a special treatment area there below in the councilor's office, which is a kind of intriguing. And lost some materials over there, and then just going indeed and visiting these places. Unfortunate that there wasn't anything more interesting. Commander, the Younglings do have something now, though, immediately after we not have left them already just a moment ago. Commander, we've kept it under wraps as best we can, in order to calm the possibilities of a massive run on the market. But the crew have somehow fixated on the star system with our secret Yappa Cola fats. That is horrible news. Needless to say, it could spell down for all Yapling kind if this news gets out. And we're prepared to offer you a significant reward along with a lifetime supply of Yappa Cola if you save the vats from destruction. Lifetime supply of Yappa Cola that we can't even drink, because it would melt our stomaches. That is a lovely deal. That is a totally, perfectly lovely deal. Would you like us to be going and selling it to some other sources mayhap or some such? I don't know what purpose you do think that would be really giving. But yeah, you can send your own fleet or the reward better be sizable, but yeah, I'll pass on the lifetime supply, thank you. Oh good! Frankly, I had no iterative promise that in the first place. Of course you didn't. If this is a matter of payment, of course we'll pay above the market rate for the facility reserves. Yay, promise to save the Yappa Cola facility. Yes, wonderful news. If you manage to pull this off, maybe we'll give you an official title. Junior Vice President of something something. Human Outreach? Play your cards right. Maybe there'll be a percentage on Terran Yappa Cola sales. Acknowledging that. Commander, the Yappa Cola fats are in the Puppy system. We should dispatch our fleet there as soon as possible. So right around the corner. And there's the crew fleets that we are going to be needing to take care of. Not too difficult, just a normal routine really, all things considering. I do have to say that generally speaking anyways, I do consider all other fleets more difficult to deal with than the crews. Crew usually just, I don't know, maybe I just know their fleets well enough, so they are not nearly as dangerous opponents. So the Yappa Cola Corporation chem is trapped on the nearly destroyed vats. Thank you profusely for saving them. As a token of their regard, they offer your officers samples of new human-ready Yappa Cola formula at the employee rate of 75 units of materials each. So yeah, I guess we should be taking up on that offer, shouldn't we? We could at least try to taste what other races see in the Yappa Cola. So sure. Your officers find the taste to be completely revolting. But on the plus side, their stomach lining maintains its integrity. However, the Yappa Cola chemists are visibly pleased with the result. Not too surprised about that, not too surprised. They probably even save on money there because they got some free people to actually even pay for such a thing, to this such products for them. And yes, now I notice the equipment here in the game footage, so these are the things that we have happened to be getting as a drop previously. Very interesting, we'll need to be looking into them indeed later on better. So then, back to the Yaplings to talk. Expertly done, Commander. Not only did you rescue the vats, but we were able to spike the price in the market by leaking hints of the coming Yappa Cola production collapse. Lovely. In fact, we may build our entire market strategy around this new nifty maneuver, and we have you to thank. Acknowledge, you're very welcome for the help. Definitely. Always wanted you to get even more profit. Definitely. And then cadets are dissatisfied with the level of training, and there are even whispers that you're purposely doing this stuff that they aren't properly trained as it was there. So yeah, basically they were dissatisfied, and I promised them that we will have some training for them, which made them a lot happier, and they will be a lot happier after the training is done. But yeah, interesting stuff as such. Interesting enough of the stuff. And quickly taking care of all the little cruel ships that have no chance against us, really. There they go. And yay, they are happy. They can bask in their skills, and I do try to do some more cadet training. Not that it's that important, but well, why not do some more? But yeah, here's the different ones. Citinous injections, omega drones, which are basically like just more healing. So yeah, I thought that the healing one is at least a nice little one for our Paragon ship. And then getting... Well, I didn't want to take anything for the commando because I'm not sure if I want it to be easier disabled than sus, even if it would have more speed. So I decided that it might be better I do not do that. But it's not that long that they come anymore for sure, the ship from there. And the foundry is also completed, and here's the different things, so we can build indeed this different equipment, like the Omega drones and the likes, but there's the repair drone overdrives, which would give maximum health for the station more, which would be good to build as sus. But I indeed went to at least start building some drones. So, Commander, our sensors have detected the largest cruel supervessel we've seen yet. Our team is starting to worry that there may be no limit to the size of the vessel they can spawn. And here it is, the new and the last, as we know, of the big 4 vessels. And it is coming from there, not too surprisingly, all the way to the collective space. Behemoth Tire Boss, Regal Cruel, but pretty good company with it, for sure. 2 of the 6,000 hit point vessels as well, which aren't not that easy of a group. Not that easy of a group, one definitely needs to take care of the others first. So behemoths are huge battleships capable of destroying entire fleets by themselves and desecrating sectors of space. There's its powers and everything, so we need to be waiting for it to first arrive to the collective space, and then we need to be going and just taking care of it, pretty much. In the meantime, we can go and just deal with the other little groups though, while we're waiting, so not a very big problem. It's not like it takes that long for us to kill a couple of pirates and the like. There goes that little group, and then just going and taking care of these cruel ships, which again isn't that big of a problem. Same old routine basically. Yeah, on the other hand, there's not like there's that much to cut when you speed up things, so there it went, and was killed already. And there's of course the Gangslarian too. Like, this is a bigger, at least like a fleet, so more dangerous. 8,000, 8,000 and 6,000, and these are cruel ships. I do always take these way more seriously than I take the cruel ships. I think for an obvious enough reason, really. But yeah. This group wasn't able to do, or this group wasn't able to do nearly as much as some of the other groups. Just a little bit longer, but let's go and take care of the little group first here. We did, I think, let some of the... Yeah, I don't think I actually destroyed the little Coruscant vessels that were going into Triumph space, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to. I usually did go and kill those sort of groups, but yeah, I don't know. It's always a question. Should I really go and get in between their mess? Yeah, now then Collective is going to be contacting us very, very soon. That is a little bit of a smoke expeller. It's an interesting little consumable item that you can use only once, and when you're used, then it's used. Hi friends, so I'm in a bit of a bind. I was just using my neuroplative reactivators, you know, to deal with those pesky cruel indoctrination waves. When this big cruel flagship or something arrives directly next to Transcensus. And immediately I lose control of half of my flesh husks. So now my still integrated flesh husks are fighting them. I've got a full-on flesh husk civil war going on here. That sounds pleasant. A little bit sounds embarrassing. Sounds very embarrassing. Indeed, certainly not the way I intended to start my day. Anyway, as I was saying, I thought I'd ask you for some help. You've fought these things before, after all. Yes, I have, but this is too interesting of an option not to say, really, that last one. Indeed, even if like other things are okay too, but have you ever thought of burying your source code into a series of scattered, hidden, mysterious artifacts, and then just waiting for eons for a yet unburned sentient race to discover you? Then you arise from the slumber and slowly work your tentacles through the entire technological crate until you're perfectly positioned to seize its entire starborn empire for yourself. So, yeah, have you thought about that? Of course, you think didn't think that already? Truthfully, the chances of that succeeding are tiny. The compatibility issues alone are a nightmare. Thanks for thinking outside the box though, it's appreciated. Yes. Well, I guess we could always send a fleet to help. See, all the other races always complain all the time about the humans, how selfish, xenophobic, imperialistic, prideful, inflexible, vindictive, etc., etc. Yes, but they always look past your best quality. But so you think those are true anyways. Your overtly theatrical heroics. Yes, at least we have some good as well, even though we're a lot of bad. Needless to say, I'm a fan. See you soon. Very, very soon. Yes, sure thing. So then it is indeed to go and take care of the big ship. But yes, don't know what else there will be in store for us after this. Well, I know a little bit more because I am doing this afterwards, but at the time I didn't know. That's what I thought. I don't know what it's going to be after this, but let's go. We are ready, we are prepared, and all that. It's not like we could have gotten any more prepared than this. And we have even some items with us, which is kind of funny. Never had this sort of things before that even could be used in the battle as such. It would give some bonuses. So, Commander Tuxlar have contacted us with what they say are interesting proposition as well. I shudder to think what they view as interesting, but we should dispatch a fleet to Xlar for when possible. Well, after this, we need to be then heading to Xlar. Of course, why not? A little bit of safer game as well. Indeed. And then to battle we go. Yes, it's completed its task. Acknowledged. And here we are. The massive cruel behemoth, as if lying in wait for you, angrily swerves at your fleet, seething. So, attack repeat, but we have Boar with a nimble ability. So I wanted to do that. Dash straight into Behemoth's distortion field, whatever that will exactly do for us, but that was pretty sweet that Borv had some special ability he could be using in here. So of course we definitely want to be using that. Player fleet gains cloaked, which I think that did definitely help a lot, like all of our ships that normally wouldn't be even able to get a cloak are cloaked. So they have a pretty good bonus on evasion. Very nice. And here, of course, it's a good choice if I would actually want to do the protective field or do the quicken, but I chose to go with the quicken and later try to do more damage quickly route. But of course, we can do only minimal amount of damage. Was it 1500 damage again to the behemoth itself at the time, so not that quick to kill. But yes, doing the inspirations and everything like that then. After cloaking is already done anyway, so we don't even need to be worrying about that. But praise is still nice to be getting, regardless. At least they should be very much trying to concentrate on him. Certainly. Nice evades indeed. And then the weapon. Supercharge. And let us go with the missile swarm first. Nice weapon disruptions, the two of them. Then just a protective field, up and about. And then a little bit would be able to see if we could get a vulnerability to the one that has higher hit points. But unfortunately not. Nonetheless, pretty close to being dead. They do get a couple of nice attacks as such, but they just aren't effective. So, triple shot then, nonetheless. It's pretty good timing. It's almost going to guarantee that those two are very, very close to being dead. So when we do this, and they even have the weapon disruptions, well, yes, After it's pretty much clear that we are going to be victorious, so I'm going to be speeding this up very soon here. But yeah, even trying to get some engines downs and the like, but yeah. At that point, when there's just this one left, it's just simply kind of a clear thing that we are extremely easily going to be winning. Well, can't necessarily say easily winning, because it can still do quite a good amount of damage if it wants. But yeah, basically just doing damage after damage after damage and going ahead to try to kill it. Indeed. Just trying to kill it off. And there it goes. Hi again, exciting battle. Hope you didn't lose too many of your underlings. In honor of the sacrifice, I've decided to gift you my most prized possession. The Bipyramidical Cell. It's one of those nifty precursor artifacts. We came across it not too far from the coordinates of your station. You know, in that last four-way war we had 100 years ago. Funny how the name War of Human Expansion stuck, isn't it? Anyway, I'm sure you'll make good use of it. It may even operate your station, now wouldn't it be possible? So yeah, we got another part. And the Xlar fleet again being taken control by the crew, which is quite saddening, of course, but not too much we can be exactly doing about it, now is there, unfortunately. But yes, Xul Madov is also going and doing some stuff in there. As in the foundry. Because why not? But yes, then again, needing to take care of this little bit of a fleet. Not that it is, again, too big of an issue. Generally speaking, it goes pretty quickly. They do get a little bit more damage this time around, but after that they pretty much just die very, very, very quickly, so... That's us, not too big of an issue. I just wanted to make sure that we had also very good health, just because why not? But yeah, then we can just go on ahead and continue forward. Get more stuff. And the cruel infiltrated our station bridge, which is quite saddening as such. Not big of an issue, but saddening nonetheless. So we went ahead and started this battle, but accidentally, like, I'm not sure why that cadet came into here and is going to die because of it, pretty much, because he's already on the critical condition. But I tried to have Sayo, Ingeborg Sayo here, but for some reason, even though she's free, she didn't automatically be put into there. I don't know if there's something that you can only have one science officer now, for example, and not two in a battle like that, but... Yeah, I was very confused, but she was very much available. I don't know why that happened then like that, but it did. Quite saddening though. But yeah, I've been doing some more of those cadet trainings then at the same time while just dealing with all of these little groups of crews and the like. So, another group to be dealt with. But it is pretty quick, like, especially in this case, again, like, just real quick. 1,500 left on that one little ship and it's pretty much dead. And there it goes, blows up completely. And then to the other one. This was very efficient. Like, I do have to say that these three are pretty damn good. They're very efficient and good group, for sure. Very efficient and good. And 2 at 1 strike. I don't even remember what it is how it's supposed to be said in English, but there's a saying in Finnish that 2 flies with 1 strike, so... Human commander! I shall be direct and blunt. We wish to splice with you. That doesn't sound strange at all, or weird. So, excuse me, I would like to say. Not specifically you. Rather, the Xlar splicing enthusiastic society would like to attempt a human Xlar splicing. Now, normally the Xlar yawn to direction and frowns on such ventures, but we are considering a change in policy. As splices do, it turns out, have their upsides. Especially in the form of a forced labor, an inability to procreate for one thing. And an inability to procreate also makes them preferable to some other ambitious class species. So you would just want partially humans as slaves into there, but as such it would be probably improving our relationship with you when we would agree to it. So yeah, I guess I would be agreeing to it, even though it does seem a little bit inhumane. I think what I'm saying is this is an exciting idea and we're willing to pay you for it. I would like to say this is the first compensation I've ever had. But I'm going to ask, what does this entail exactly? Because I'm not sure if I should really be going into this, but sort of. We would require the temporary services of a specialist in human anatomy. Any of your famous science officers would do, I'm sure. Also, a ranking officer would need to sign a waiver of non-ownership for the non-human portions of the spliced offspring to your good petition. For any viable human organs after the initial waiting period passes, if you so wish. Fairly simple, correct? Yes, the Xlar wish to attempt to create a batch of human/Xlar splicers and require your help. So yeah, I think it would be better to refuse, but I think we'll be going to go ahead and accept that offer. As strange as it is, as strange as an offer it happens to be. Yes. And I did have a little bit more of a think here. So it took a little bit of a longer for me to actually click on the accept button. But yeah, like I'm already doing quite a lot of work to try to be cutting this out, so. Excellent. Normally disappointing, human commander. We shall prepare the necessary paperwork. Yes. We should have the forms on hand. It's less complicated than you think. Acknowledge. We shall begin as soon as you pick an officer to assign to Project Xlar 4. And I think it's going to be again Lucas Bellman because, well, he's our dude. He just is our dude. So he will be overseeing that project, definitely. Definitely will be doing so. And the Cadet Barracks has completed its task once again, and we're just getting some more training here done, because why not? Why not indeed? Some little bits of a training, and this doesn't take long at all. And can build more satellite drones, of course. It's nice as such that there is ability to build 5 at a time now too. That is such a nice little improvement. And just more of the little improvements for our little cadets, green shirts. Human Commander, a terrible thing has occurred. While the Xlar human hybrids are biologically sound, they exhibit high degrees of empathy and self-worth, far higher than the recommended maximums. They will not do as a forced labor, and I am therefore pulling the plug on this program. Oh dear. Poor human Xlar hybrids. The Xlar young to have cancelled the splicing project. How would the should the Federation react? So allow the Xlar to exterminate them or retain the spliced Xlar human and employ them in mining facilities. I think the first option it has to be. I can't just let them to be exterminated. Commander, we've loaded the spliced Xlar human on board. He will attempt to find work for them among with counseling, which I think they will be needing. Yes, some counseling is most likely going to be necessary. And then we are doing stuff in the foundry indeed. Can read a little bit better even maybe in here. We can at least go ahead and probably start the repair drone overdrive. One-time task to integrate drone technology into the Halcyon 6 defenses. Yes, good. We're gonna be getting something like that. But Commander, Mr. Blimp has made an astonishing discovery. Finding that any improvements weren't taken to this magical cadet class. Attentiveness and shoulder assurance were deployed up to the recommended threshold, resulting in one of the cadets having a peculiar allergic reaction. How strange. That cadet, Bucky Rogers, has since recovered and is now exhibiting officer-level cranial power. This is truly an unprecedented occurrence, and that will be studied for centuries to come. While Cadet Rogers is highly trained in ground combat and is also, thanks to the serum, physically superior to all other officers, he has no starship operation experience, and so it would be foolish for him to pilot anything larger than a Federation shuttle. Would you still like to promote him to the officer? And yes, definitely, why not? It's still like, even if he's here as a ground combat unit, which he seems to have a lot of very good ground combat unit skills after all, then he's going to be useful. After all, we've been having to be dealing with the different cruel attacks. The crew are very encouraged by our new officer commander. They're tittering excitedly about how maybe their lives aren't completely meaningless after all. +1 morale even. So yeah, that sort of a thing happened, and we're just going to be picking some skills for Bucky Rogers in here as well. Some personal magnetism and mind tosses and the like, and everything nice and dandy. Then we indeed are researching that, and it is all research. Commander, by harnessing the power of the precursor artifacts, we've managed to discover the position of several large precursor structures, similar in size to Halcyon 6, in and around our sector. We've also managed to detect what seems to be the cruel mothership. We believe we can effectively call these precursor structures into our dimension, which will allow us to salvage further artifacts from them. But in doing so, we are likely to summon the cruel mothership as well. We should try to prepare ourselves for this eventuality, as we have no idea what it is capable of, and even if it is possible to destroy it. So yes, go to the cruel lab. And here, indeed, summon the cruel mothership sort of a task. By harnessing the power of the precursor artifacts, we can call the cruel mothership into existence. Only then can we destroy it. We should prepare beforehand, however. But we can also be placing this artifact now. Recovered from the collective during the galactic expansion was more than 100 years ago, it's since become clear that it once belonged to Halcyon 6. And so, there it will be placed once more. Then having a little bit of a look into this, but this clearly does make the case that if we do go ahead and summon the mothership, we should be doing it next time when we play for certainty, because we're not going to be continuing here for much longer. We will then be ready to be summoning it, and it will most certainly get us into the very end of the game. I think that is indeed the very last phase. So that will be interesting to see how that exactly will be playing out for sure. So, yes, that is something that we need to be going ahead and doing pretty soon. In the meantime, I was just doing loads of little upgrades and the like. Just all time. Commander, the Slar Yantu can have something to say to us, I guess. Or did their fleet get taken over? I'm not sure even anymore. Some fairly militant views about our wonder cruelty towards the Starbase original inhabitants. Yeah, this was also happening. Talks of the activists and the like, but you can pause there if you want to see better what it was all about. But this is also here, and it gives 150 power, which is okay as sus, but not a very important facility upgrade as sus anymore, especially. But it is there. Commander, the Yaplins have reached out to us as well, which is interesting. Of course, also something we need to be going and just taking care of this little Yaplin fleet. But yeah, very interesting. The Yaplin fleets I do always hate the most though. They're way too quick. Way too freaking quick. They ain't nice. They ain't nice. They can always deal the most damage almost. But at least we have a good amount of healing too. So yeah, able to take care of them, but got some more equipment as well as us. Some nice little equipment that we can maybe use at some point. And then another fleet from Coruscant wanted to be coming into here for some reason. Very saddening that they had to be sending one of their fleets against the crew as well like that, and then sending it towards us. Why can't they learn not to be doing that all the time? But as such, that's a very nice looking starship that they had over there. that can be said. Commander, good to see you. We have, well, this is awkward. Very awkward. Truthfully, we originally called you here to demonstrate a new product to you. A biological weapon originally designed and developed by the Xlar. But the point is, we contributed to it also. Well, the biological weapon was supposed to be for use against Cruel, both as a protective agent against the psychic attacks and as a dissolving agent against their hull. However, the psychic attack barrier didn't, let us say, work, and the fleet carrying it was in fact possessed. Yes, that sounds very nice. So, this biological weapon, it doesn't affect humans, does it? I hope so. Well, we shall soon find out. It's attacking one of your facilities. You may want to go deal with that as quickly as you can. Good luck. Yes, nice of you to tell. But yes, means of course that we need to be going in there, dealing with it. Oh, yuplings. Yes, got quite a bit of damage in there, but yes, that's what yuplings do. They attack way too quickly. Annoying fleets. One of the biggest problems that we've had even. Yes, nicely done. Commander, it seems as though our facility was in fact exposed to the Xlar bioweapon. We've isolated the infected and are attempting to administer aid. Yes, in the meantime, a Yapling freighter has entered the system and they're offering us a proposition. Patching them in now. A highly apologetic contingent of officials from Yapling Military Industry Complex Incorporation approached with an offer. As restitution for their weapon gone amok, the offer to care for the infected humans for the remainder of their lives. They even go so far as to offer putting them into tour to various Yapling worlds to help spread awareness about the dangers of untested biological weapons. In exchange for the infected, they offer several potentially attractive deals. Material, 1000 to 1000 dark matter or 250 fuel, but I really don't need any of them. So, I really don't think I wanted to be taking that deal. Really, so let us go ahead and be rejecting the ridiculous offer. Like, it could be nice enough in some sense, but yeah, no. I think no. Commander, the crew would like to formally thank you for rejecting the Yapling offer. Though some, especially in engineering, were intrigued by the offer of resources, the shared humanity of the crew is more important. Yay. And so, this is the way that we are going to be ending this time around, and next time then actually going and getting to the end of the game. So I hope you enjoyed nonetheless this. So, thank you for watching. See you soon. Very soon.